Now, some students may not be so keen as Taylor Lee to cash out some big bucks for something so small. But this year, it was all about the coal. Yes, after speaking with educators and students today, I've gotten the general consensus that, students are excited to make the leap from this type of book, well, to something a little more advanced like this. Now, the Classic Center seemed to change overnight, but I'll tell you one thing, according to some of the people here, they still got a little bit ways to go before February. The ladies upstairs are not afraid to talk about how much they love this organization, especially with the fact that Relay for Life is the most successful nonprofit fundraising event in the entire world. The Georgia unemployment rate has dropped to 8.7%. That's 1% below where it stood over a year ago. The Department of Labor says it's from an increase in almost 70,000 jobs. Some of the largest sectors affected are in hospitality and food and beverage. And nowhere was it more evident than on West Broad Street here in Athens this morning. The redcoats are lined up. People are waiting, and flags are being raised. But for what? Burgers, shakes, and skinny fries. Steak and Shake off West Broad Street is finally open, but this new restaurant is serving the community more than just burgers. Co-owner Jason Watson was eager to say,
we currently employ 135, of which over 60 came off unemployment.
Wow, that's wonderful.
That's awesome, isn't it?
Watson says he feels most comfortable hiring those who are in serious need of a job. He believes his employees coming off unemployment are some of his hardest workers. He says they understand the value of holding a job.
It's really something that I'm proud to be behind. We fit all demographics of people.
Watson encourages all in the community to apply. And Shake hopes to open their 24-hour operation schedule beginning in February. Flames are rising, ladders are raising, and water is spraying as firefighters struggle to contain flames erupting from the Oconee Street United Methodist Church. University graduate student Chris Jin initially placed the 911 call.
I was coming back from my office on campus, going home, and I saw some smoke, and there was no one around. I stopped my car and got out and called 911 because I saw a ton of smoke coming from the steeple.
First responders began to combat the fire at 10:15 p.m. ACC police say they do not think there was any malice behind the fire. Neighborhood resident Stephanie Murphy says,
we drove past it and there was a ton of smoke that came up. We thought we'd check that once we heard the sirens, and we saw the steeple going up in flames. It's kind of disturbing. I think there's a homeless shelter that's run out of the church, so the first thing that we thought of was where everybody's going to go tonight. It seems like a really important part of the community. So it's, out of all places, it seems really awful.
This is Joshua Buse for OnlineAthens.com. Kids are singing and hand-jiving as the Oconee High's Glitz and Rich Show Choir preps for their biggest competition of the year. High school show choirs across North Georgia come to Athens to compete in the Glee-Off, sponsored by Children's First. Mary Eleanor Joyce says Children's First is about helping families in crisis that need to be heard.
When you see that moment of these kids singing out loud, giving a child a voice is the most powerful thing I think you can do. And seeing these kids come together and use their voices to do such a good thing for other kids that they haven't even met, it's amazing.
3 schools competed in the Glee-Off this past Saturday: Salem High School, Oconee High School, and Marietta High School. Oconee High's junior, John McGahee, says show choir is different than any other subject in school.
It's not like you're sitting in class bored. You get to have fun and you get to sing and dance, and it's like you're able to have an outlet for energy.
Oconee High's chorus director, Katie Williams, says the diversity of the group is one of their greatest strengths.
I have athletes, I have academic, I have musicians, I have dancers, I have theater kids. They're all from different areas, but they all work together, and they work really well together.
The winner?
Oconee County!
They hope to use the $1,000 prize to visit Disney World to attend a show choir workshop. This is Joshua Buse for OnlineAthens.com. Wooden rings, silver rings, and golden rings hang on pegs in Taylor Lee's bedroom. Taylor's collection holds over 70 rings from around the world, but he says one ring rules them all.
I decided to get a college class ring because it's much more classy. I wanted to keep a reminder of where I came from, and I get complimented on it all the time. So it's well worth it.
Well, how much did it cost you?
$700.
Now, some students may not be so keen as Taylor Lee to cash out some big bucks for something so small. Fourth-year student George Carlton just surprised his girlfriend with an engagement ring. He wants to buy a college ring too, but his reaction to the $700 price tag. And these rings cost between $700.
Well, in this economy, that's a lot.
The UGA Alumni Association and co-sponsor Balfour encourage students to buy more rings. Their fall ring days kicked off this morning. Their prices? $350 to $1,500. Balfour Representative Drew Sanders says,
we've had some impact with the economy. On the class ring market has dropped a little bit, but not a great deal, not as much as you see in other industries. Students still see a class ring as a big part of the tradition.
Students who want to save a buck have options. Big box retailers offer rings starting at $150, local Athens jewelers at $130. But for students like Taylor, nothing beats his official UGA ring. This is Joshua Buse, Grady Newsource. A mother helps her son get dressed, makes him cinnamon rolls, and gives him ice cream money. But wait, what is she wearing? A petticoat, a blouse, and a bonnet. Laura Sherman oversees the Oconee County chapter of the Junior American Citizens, or the JAC, a group dedicated to teaching American Revolutionary War history to children.
Kids need to know who they are and where they come from. Those are some of the things that I want our children to know about in this next generation. The schools do a fantastic job, but they have a lot on their plate, and this is our focus. This is what we deal with specifically.
Some of their activities include the recitation of the preamble and field trips to different battlegrounds.
A lot of the younger kids love dressing up. They will come whether we ask them to or not in their costumes.
Sherman encourages all to learn about their patriotic heritage, even news reporters. And at the Sherman household, I've learned some important lessons today, actually, about our historic government documents. We have the Declaration of Independence, which declares our independence. We also have the Constitution, which strengthens our central government. And we also have the Bill of Rights that protects our own personal liberties. Sherman's son Jack says he enjoys learning about American history, but he looks forward to dressing up in costume the most. His favorite part.
I know you don't really wear this, but I like this the most.
This is Joshua Buse, Grady Newsource.
Perfect union.